Hey guys, I'm Monique. This is my business partner, Joe. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've visited our channel before, welcome back. Don't forget to click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, as Joe and I do drop new content twice a week.
That's right, guys. Also, we are licensed realtors out here in the state of Colorado. So any real estate you guys have, any questions you have, anything we can help with at all, that number popping up down below, we are the ones who answer the phone calls, text messages, emails, all that fun stuff. But with that being said, let's jump into things. All right, guys, so jumping into things, always like to start out, just give you a little idea as far as location. So Berkeley is going to be located northwest of downtown Denver, call it 10, 15 minutes, very good proximity to the city. And what you find in that area that's really cool, reminds me a lot of the Highlands, is you have more of that suburban lifestyle feel. So you find a lot of those little local central parks, you find a lot of single family homes. So you have the ability to actually own a home in this area, as opposed to downtown. That's really not the case. You just tend to be stuck with the condos and the apartments. And hey, that's great, that's what you're looking for. But if you want that single family home, this is a great area to do it, and you have a good price point too. The median price point in this area is right around $700,000, so lower than a lot of those Denver neighborhoods that you see that are just at that kind of $1 million plus price point.
Right, and as Joe mentioned, there are a lot of cool parks within the neighborhood itself. There's Rocky Mountain Park.
Not to be confused with Rocky Mountain National Park.
Right, exactly. And then there's also Berkeley Lake Park. And Berkeley Lake Park is very popular. It has obviously a lake. It's a beautiful, picturesque place. You could definitely take your dogs for a run. There's also a very popular dog park located in that. Yeah, definitely popular dog park that people like to go and throw frisbee, throw a ball. Definitely a nice, picturesque view because it is actually right across the street from Lakeside. And Lakeside is a very popular amusement park, and it sits right across the street from Berkeley Lake Park. So definitely options in terms of being within the neighborhood and having that, outdoorsy feel, and options in terms of going, out with your family to the park, have a picnic, take your dog for a run, whatever the case may be. The area is popular for young professionals. So you do have a lot of young professionals moving into the area. And one of the biggest cool things too that I love about that area is Tennyson Street. Tennyson Street is very popular and a ton of cool shops. There's a lot of restaurants. There's this cool coffee house. It has its kind of own, like, as Joe mentioned, like Highlands type of feel in terms of walkability, right? You could walk to the local coffee shop. You could walk to go into the small little boutique, shopping areas. Joe actually likes to shop. I know he says I do, but he likes shopping too.
I hold the bag.
There you go. Yes, he's the assistant. So definitely cool options in terms of, hey, you want to go out to the park, cool. You can take a quick walk if you are living in the area, or if you want to go out and have like a nice brunch, nice cup of coffee, work remotely in a coffee shop. A lot of them offer Wi-Fi. So definitely appeals to that young professional type of lifestyle. Another cool thing about the area is within that neighborhood, and as Joe mentioned, the home price of $700,000, a lot of those people have actual ADUs, so additional dwelling units. So a lot of people actually have single family residences, and then they convert their garage into an ADU. And what they do is they can use that for like Airbnb or another rental property, depending on, what you're looking for in terms of that area. But it does offer young professionals a lot of options in terms of being close to downtown, having close access to the park, having that picturesque view of, having the retails and shops down the main street in Tennyson. And it's really pretty during the different seasons. They light it up, they, give it its own little vibe. So it's definitely a neighborhood worth checking out if you do want to be in the city, but not necessarily in the condo or in the kind of type of apartment feel that Joe was mentioning.
Yeah, I really think it's a great option because we talk about the Highlands a lot. That's a place a lot of people would really love to live, but This is kind of a nicer entry point. So if you want everything the Highlands has to offer, obviously it's not one-to-one identical, but it is a really, really good option. If that's a little bit out of your price point, this is a place we tend to recommend to clients a lot just because it has a very similar feel to it.
Right, for sure. And so the other thing we wanted to go ahead and mention about the Berkeley neighborhood is its close proximity to the Oriental Theater, which is a popular theater, and actually Oriental Theater is within the neighborhood, and it's very old kind of theater that's been around for years from like the 1900s, and it's just cool to be part of that historic view of Denver.
They really preserve a lot of it.
Right, yeah, so we're trying to preserve the history and a lot of the characteristics in terms of neighborhood contexts, and what really makes Denver unique is each neighborhood can have its own characteristic, and so definitely something worth checking out. All the parks, the Oriental Theater, Lakeside, checking out Berkeley, Rocky Mountain Park, not to be confused with Rocky Mountain National Park. So definitely some cool options in terms of this neighborhood.
A little bit better commute to that park than Rocky Mountain National Park for you. Definitely. But no, I completely agree. And that's what's really cool about this area is you see a lot of cities who kind of will lose their charm, they'll kind of lose their character because you see it just gets so developed that you don't even recognize it 20, 30 years down the road. Denver is not like that. Denver, they're very, very good about keeping the nature, keeping the lakes, just keeping all the stuff that makes Denver still here and not letting it get overdeveloped. So really, really cool area overall. All right, guys. So obviously we gave you some context into Berkeley, Sunnyside, the other neighborhood. Very similar, honestly. They're right next to each other and also right next to the Highlands. So that's why we kind of compare them in the sense that they all have a very similar feel to them. What's cool about Sunnyside, just like Berkeley, similar price point to Berkeley in the sense that it is a little bit lower than the Highlands. So you're able to get into either one of these neighborhoods and experience everything the Highlands has to offer just at a better entry price point if it is a first-time home buyer or if it is just, you're not willing to spend the price point of the Highlands. It's up there. So we totally get that. And so we thought it would be great context to give you these areas as a reference point. And then the other thing that's cool too with the Sunnyside area is it's just like Berkeley in the sense that you have that suburban feel, a lot of homeowners, a lot of parks, and just it replicates all of those cool restaurants and coffee shops you tend to find over there in Berkeley as well.
Right. And one of the cool things too about Berkeley is, like a lot of neighborhoods in Denver, we did try and preserve the historical characteristics of that in terms of maintaining our parks, like La Raza Park. You also have Chaffee Park there. A lot of different options that go on throughout the summer. One of the big activities that La Raza Parks has is I know. They have a lot of activities kind of promoting culture and promoting kind of the history behind the park. If you're familiar with Denver, Quirky Gonzalez was like a big, iconic individual. So he did definitely make a lot of speeches at La Raza Park. So we definitely have a lot of activities there that are offered. Residents do like to walk the park and go to these activities. Another cool thing is the coffee shop. The Radiator is a very popular coffee shop there. You can go get internet. One of the best coffees I've had, actually, to be honest. Great outdoor seating. Yeah, exactly. And they do allow your pet. So if your pet is well behaved, you can definitely take your dog there as well. And another cool thing about Sunnyside is it is located near I-70. I-70 is a very popular highway here in Denver. It's access to, it's the highway, right? Yeah. Gives access to east and west of the state. So also quick access to downtown. So close proximity, just like Joe mentioned, as the Highlands, you have a lot of that convenience factor, right? Where you can go and get a local coffee, you can go and get a local drink, you can go and have like local gatherings and local hangouts with your friends. So definitely appealing to young families and young professionals in terms of, people who own their homes in the area.
Yeah, having that good proximity to 70 is nice because you're pocketed right where you can get to downtown in that 10, 15 minutes, like I was saying, but also 70 is your gateway to the mountains. So you have the ability to shoot to the mountains for the weekend and not be like some of these cities, maybe on the east side of the city, especially where you're stuck going through all of Denver, all of the west side of Denver, those western cities, and then picking up 70. This is great. You jump right on the highway and you can get there in honestly like hour, 2 hours at most.
Right. And both of these neighborhoods, Berkeley and Sunnyside, offer a lot of local options in terms of local dining, local shops, access to parks. So definitely the reason why we wanted to bring these popular neighborhoods up for you guys. And as much as Joe and I love doing this video for you guys, we would also love to help you with any real estate needs you may have. Feel free to contact us via text, email, phone call, whatever the case may be. Thank you for joining us, guys. And until next time.
Catch you next one, guys. Thanks so much for watching.